Hi, I'm Jenny from The Plot, and this is my allotment. Welcome to my lady garden.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. I'm down to...
If you are a new subscriber here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I had a lovely shout out from Stella of Stella's Vegetable Garden earlier in the week. So if you've popped over from Stella's, hello, thanks for joining us. What a legend she is. Now I am working at the moment, which is pretty unusual for me. I'm self-employed, so my jobs are like buses. I have nothing for ages and then 10 things all come along at once. So I've been pretty busy, but what it has done is it has filled me with admiration for those of you out there that work a full-time job, that have a family, that also have an allotment, and even some of you that actually make YouTube videos as well. My hat is officially off to you all, because finding the time to fit it all in, I don't know how you do it. However, I have been working at some really gorgeous places. So at the weekend, I was at Astle Manor in Oxfordshire, which is not normally open to the public. They only open for special events. And but I was lucky enough to be there working, which is incredible. And the grounds are spectacular. So I couldn't resist taking a little bit of footage and a few photos for you to have a look at. So this is where I was at the weekend. So because I'm busy at the moment, the next couple of months, I'm going to do my best to carry on, keep coming down and just keep things going, keep things alive. Maintenance, feeding, watering, maybe weeding. We're going to start today in the tomato bed. Here we are at the tomato bed. The sunflowers, which I did not believe would survive, have. The tomatoes are all coming on. We even have a few flowers coming. Marigolds in between. Sunflower at the end, still alive. That's a bonus. Alive is good. And here's my nasturtium on the end, looking really healthy. But I'm afraid I have been somewhat neglecting the maintenance of my tomato plants. I've not been taking off the suckers. I haven't done any of that. They're looking a little on the bushy side. But I thought I'd do a little bit of that today. Now, the 4 at the front are determinate, I want to say, so I don't need to touch those. It's the rest of them. So let's have a go at that now. Well, they do look a bit better now, and I have noticed some have even got some tiny fruits on them, which is very exciting. I'm going to need to give them a better support or tie them in again, because they're really getting quite big. But I also have some basil to plant out in this bed. So let's go and do that, and then we'll water everything at the end. Today's planting out is brought to you by the letter B, because I have loads and loads of basil. This is Ali's basil, really needs to get out of the pots. And I also have, so that's all the basil is going to go in the tomato bed. And I also have the beans, which I have to be honest, I forgot I had. There's only 3 of them. They've been a little bit attacked by a leaf miner. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. But I think, I think they might be all right. So I'm going to pop them with the broad beans and the courgettes in the bed at the backs. But let's do the basil first. Finally, there's just a little bit of space here where I can pop these, I think they're dwarf French beans. They're a bush variety, I believe, so they shouldn't need support. And I'm quite excited to see how they turn out. Hold the phone. I'm going to swivel the camera around. Can you see what Clive the courgette plant has gifted me with? Clive, what have you been doing? Clive! And I've just noticed another lovely thing at the plot. My sign behind me had fallen off, and I know Brian, my plot neighbour Brian, Welsh Brian, I talk about him a lot. I know he'd been saying, oh, what you need is a couple of washers just to make sure it stays on. And of course, I've been so busy, I just left it on the ground. And today I come back and he's fixed it for me. What an absolute legend. Honestly, people are so kind. Sorry, it's because I'm tired, I'm quite emotional. That's so lovely, that's really made my day. Thank you, Brian. And thank you for coming to my lady garden today. I'm going to endeavour to keep coming down no matter how busy I get. Things need to be maintained, watered, weeded, fed. And I'm going to try and do it because, you know, it's worth it. It's worth hanging on to this. If you've worked hard on your plot, you will know it's worth hanging on to. So until next time, take care and I'll see you then. Bye.